Warning, this video has spoilers of the new MW3 campaign, so if you have plans to play the campaign for yourself, I'd recommend you play it out first and then come back to this video so you get to experience it. I'm gonna try and get through this review slash walkthrough thing as quick as possible so I don't waste anyone's time, and with that in mind, this is your last chance to click off if you don't want any spoilers. So to start things off, I wanted to talk about the campaign as a whole before I go further into it. Overall, the campaign itself feels incomplete. Rushed. Like, a lot of the times during the missions, and especially the ending, I was just sat here asking, is that it? It just feels like there was more to be desired from a lot of these missions. I mean, for one, this campaign was too short in my opinion. When I was streaming this on Twitch, I had a few people telling me they ran through the campaign on Recruit so they can just get through the story, and they finished the whole thing from anywhere between 3 to 4 hours, and that's true. When I went through the campaign the second time to get footage for this video too, it also took me about 3.5 hours to get through the whole thing. Originally, it took me longer because this guy thought it was a good idea to run through it on veteran straight away, but even then it still felt short and unfinished. And wow, during my run of this campaign, there was so many bugs and glitches that happened to me, let me tell you. I think when I was streaming this game, I had like 7-8 crashes, which, you know, I don't mind the crashes, but when I have to load up MW2, get update requires restart to relaunch the game again, then click on the campaign which loads MW3, and then the process continues, it's just a mess. Even when I came back to get extra footage for this video, I got hit with a crash instantly. Bruh, are you serious? There was also this one time where I was in a cutscene and couldn't understand what they were saying because the audio played twice? What? What? Why is the two sets of voices going on at the same time? What the fuck? Anyway, moving on. The open combat missions on this game. It was a nice idea, but for me, it was a complete miss. Now, don't get me wrong. I do like being able to explore around in missions. However, these missions made it feel like it wasn't a campaign and more of a DLC Spec Ops mission, or even one of the raids in MW2. With the minimaps being introduced on these missions and being able to call in UAVs and other streaks in a campaign, it was just really strange to me, and it didn't work. It felt like I was going to unlock a camo on MW2 for multiplayer after completing these, like you do on the raids. It was just a really strange experience, which for me, I just didn't enjoy it. However, some of you might enjoy the open combat missions, but for me, it didn't work. But if you like it, that's okay. I just think these campaigns should stick to being linear, but still giving the opportunity to look around an open space, similar to the likes of COD 4 and MW2. The few linear missions that were in this game played very well and felt like a classic campaign, so the formula clearly still works well. Overall for me though, the open combat missions just didn't work and made the gameplay and flow very lackluster. Alright, it feels like I've just been very negative towards this campaign so far, but honestly the cutscenes and the story is where it kind of redeems itself. Let's walk through the missions and after I'll give my complete summary. In the first mission, we start with a cutscene that brings you back to the days of the Only Easy Day Was Yesterday mission in MW2. Until you surface and then you see we're in Verdansk! Verdansk is back! Oh. I forgot that this is where the crash happened. Verdansk is back? That's definitely going somewhere in the title or thumbnail of this video. You then grapple and scale up prison, or the gulag, and take out a few guards along the way with the objective of finding prisoner 627. You fight through a wave of guards in the courtyard until we get to a hatch which takes us to the cells of the gulag. You then rappel down, killing guards on each of the floors until we get to a door, which triggers a cutscene showing we found prisoner 627.
Breach you up. Alpha's on target, stand by. Flare. Step into the light.
Сколько ж времени прошло, Ваня?
All stations PID on 627.
Copy. Opening 627.
Железный план.
Любой план зависит от его выполнения. Это только начало.
All teams, we have him. Moving in 30. Для меня это большая честь.
Командир Makarov.
Oh it's Makarov! Makarov is prisoner 627! Anyway, Makarov takes over comms and lets the team know we enter phase 3, which is the escape part of the plan. But when you're making your way to the surface, there was a problem in which the team leader is advised to wait, but Makarov says no, and questions his position as leader by trying to prove a point with this question.
Andrei, who holds power in this gulag? The guards? Or the prisoners?
The prisoners.
Yes, Andrei. That's why the guards need guns.
After this, you fight through a courtyard full of guards until a helicopter stops us at the entrance of prison. Someone dies, but honestly I couldn't tell you who, and then we escape from bullets flying everywhere by sliding down a slope and teleporting to the side of the boat. What the fuck? Anyway, now Makarov has officially escaped from the gulag, thus setting the events of Modern Warfare 3. The next mission we start with the intro scene from Warzone 1 until...
John, Makarov is out.
Say again, Laszlo?
Makarov is out. He's on the move, John.
Aboard! Turn us around!
And then we cut to Farah in Urzikstan to confirm some cargo is in her possession with a creepy ass smile. What's going on there? Farah meets with a woman named Dina, and after some small talk, we get into the car where we learn that Farah is in possession of missiles and that they're secure on the docks. Then, oh f***, what? Dina's dead? Wait, grab the wheel! After the car crash, we go into the first open world mission. Yeah, fun. Pretty much, you have to go to the question marks pointed out on your minimap and collect or place whatever it is in that area. So we start with the GPS tracker on the ship, then we go to the other building that looks like one of the buildings off Warzone 1 to collect the manifest. And with that, you place the tracker on 2 containers which contain missiles, signaling the end of a mission with another cutscene with Farah basically saying we'll get revenge for this. Up next, we start by going back to Makarov in this warehouse full of his soldiers, meeting up with a woman called Milena, who is the one paying for all these soldiers in Makarov's absence. And then we get this cutscene, which I think is the best cutscene in the game. Like, I was going to mention this after the fact, but all of the cutscenes in this game are very good. In fact, I think they're way more memorable than the actual gameplay part of the campaign. But I feel this cutscene especially really sets up Makarov's goals and mindset very well, or what it could have been.
My comrades, we stand reunited for your efforts in my absence and our success today. I offer you praise и наказание. Иван, из-за того, что ты отверг мой план, мы потеряли драгоценное время. Время решает все.
Командир, я принял правильное решение.
Каждый несет ответственности за свои ошибки.
Андрей, ты доказал свою преданность. Теперь ты моя правая рука.
Спасибо, командир.
My fellow warriors, I wasn't here, but I was always with you. Since then, our enemies have grown stronger. The ULF has stolen back control of Urzikstan. The time has come for us to show them the meaning of true power. This is a battle of perception. A lie flies while the truth only grows. If you control what people believe, you control the world. This is our weapon. And we will use it as a tool of war to restore glory to Russia. The real Russia! The West, they love their choices. They will have only one. To respond on our terms. Каждая секунда на счету.
After that, we hear Laswell and 141 talking about how the port in Urzikstan was robbed of its missiles. They ask about Farah's condition, which, as we know, she's okay, and that Makarov's men are moving towards a nuclear power plant also in Urzikstan that was abandoned after Barkov's reign, and we're gonna find out what it is they're doing there. The mission starts with yet another Warzone cutscene, and oh we get to play as Captain Price. Let's go. We fly down to this ground war map that I can't remember the name of, but I do remember people being able to go under the map on the beta. Then you have to destroy these 3 helicopters, which are extract points for nuclear material or something like that. After they're all destroyed, Laswell tells us whatever it is they're doing here is in a reactor, so we head there and see them extracting something from the reactor, which we soon learn is chemical weapons because, you know, they dropped some and this guy's face is literally melting off. So you have to get out of there.
Got it! We got you, Cap. Stay with us, son. Come. Cap! Stay with us, son!
No! Not Price! Oh, he's okay, we're good. You find out that Makarov was there for some lethal gas that Barkov was working on before he died, which is then relayed to Laswell. Laswell then goes on to say they've tracked Farah's missiles to an abandoned bunker from the Cold War, which the 141 will try and go and retrieve, but not without finding out that Laswell's going to Verdansk. Nah, man, this ain't fair. How come Laswell can go to Verdansk whenever she pleases, but I can't? Anyway, she goes to military base. Okay, back to this abandoned bunker place. Farah scared Price, and then she tells us that Shadow Company was the one providing the missiles, to which Price questions and warns Farah about the loyalty of Shadow Company from when a hit was placed on the 141 from Graves and Shepard. After this, we're in a drone looking around this abandoned base thing until we find an entrance to the bunker, but we can't get in without a keycard, so you have to find the commander for his keycard. You then go through the field and the base, killing any enemies you have to, until you find this guy with a red beret who drops the keycard when you drop him. You then make your way to the bunker by ziplining underground and walking into a bunker where the doors get sealed. Of course, Farah is there to assist you from being trapped. Both you and Farah fight through many server rooms until you find the door to the control room, which Farah will work her magic to open, but in the meantime, Soap lets us know the missiles have chemical warheads. Once you're in, Farah drops 2 soldiers and gets the control box to try and stop the launch, which has no success. Farah plans to close the bunker door thing at the top to contain the chemicals in the bunker, so we have to fight through waves of enemies and a juggernaut to then find out that the target of the missiles are Arklov military base, where Laswell is headed. Finally, we get to the surface where we're greeted by another jug. Seriously? We finally get to the control room in the middle of the courtyard, kill the enemies in there, and shut the door containing the chemicals. However, where we succeeded, the other squad fails, as we see 2 chemical warheads fire and heading straight towards military base. Price tries to warn Laswell through the radio, but there's just radio silence on his end.
6 to Watcher. 6 to Watcher. Kate. Laswell, are you there? This is 6 in the blind. We have 2 missiles incoming to the Arklov base. They have chemical warheads. If you are there, get out. Now!
We cut back to 3 hours before this point, and Laswell meets with Nikolai to hitch a ride to military base. And my god, does he like metal. She asks Nikolai if Makarov is working with the Kremlin, to which Nikolai pretty much says he doesn't know. And then Laswell says she has an informant inside military base who can provide the answers by the name of
Yuri Volkov.
Holy shit, is that the Yuri? To be honest, I don't know. I haven't seen anything confirming this, so feel free to let me know in the comments. Anyway, Laswell and Nikolai are heading towards military base and... Wait, what happened? What happened?
Nice.
We need to fly low.
Under the radar.
Exact.
Nikolai drops off Laswell on a mountain or hillside, whatever, so she can make her way into military base. And as we do that, we have to keep our distance from the soldiers to avoid suspicion. I think for a lot of people, they really struggled with this one. Even I had my moments, which you'll see soon. You make your way to the admin building, which of course requires a keycard, which this guy conveniently walking through the door seemingly has. At this point, we have to bide our time and wait for the chance to get his keycard, and this is where my problem started. As you see, he goes up the stairs on his own. I follow and bring my gun out around the corner, and all of the sudden, the whole base sees me. Next time, I kill the guy in the suit, and somehow the soldier survives and lets the base know I'm there. Then I literally just look towards one, and boom, I'm dead. While my fails are still playing, I also saw that this mission is coded for you to die if you set off the alarm. Yeah, anyway, we finally kill both of the people, getting the keycard, and going into the admin building, which Yuri is in one of the control rooms or something. After the initial kind of small talk, Yuri throws a flash drive on a table, which contains files on Bakov's research, or in other words, everything that is known about the chemicals. When asked why he did this, he said this.
Russia and the West face similar threats from within. It is imperative we collaborate to control them. Противник моего оппонента, мой союзник.
Nikolai by совсем согласился.
Он настоящий патриот.
He then goes on to mention that the Kremlin is not responsible for the chemicals, but he didn't confirm nor deny that Makarov was working for them. And after that bombshell, we get this.
Come again, Bravo. Bravo, your signal's weak. Come again.
In the blind, we have 2 missiles incoming to the R-Club base. They have chemical warheads. If you are there, get out.
This could be a trip.
It's not.
After the warheads hit, you and Yuri go separate ways as you make your way to the roof of the building, climbing ladders, running upstairs, anything you can do to get to the high ground, until Nikolai is here to save the day. Okay, so this next mission, I feel like I have to give a warning about this. It's basically the no Russian of MW3, but I would say it's not as bad. Now, as we all know, it is a game, however, I thought I'd give the disclaimer anyway. We go to the airport, which Makarov is going through security, and the news have caught wind of what just happened at military base, and quickly, along with the Kremlin, labels Farah's army, the ULF, as a terrorist organization. Exactly what Makarov wanted. We cut to a plane where we take the perspective of a woman named Samara simply texting her family while on a flight to Sochi, I think it was. To which this guy on the left says she has a beautiful family, and for God's sake, what is with the creepy smiles, man? First Farah, now this guy? Come on. Anyway, this traveler, as they call him, weirdly names every family member on Samara's phone, and then says he knows her and the days of fighting in Farah's army. Then he pulls out a fucking gun. What the f? You quickly take him down and down all of the other fighters, causing panic on the plane until you get hit with a flashbang and get knocked out. As you're waking up, it seems all the passengers at the front of the plane are dead and you're met with a familiar face.
Снижаемся.
He straps a bomb to Samara's chest and sarcastically says she's a freedom fighter, and then gaslights her by indirectly calling her a terrorist. I quickly have to say, hats off to the actor of Makarov here, by the way. He really does play his role super well. I mean, I hate this guy. He then jumps off the plane with his soldiers so there's no loose ends. Once he's dipped, you then pulled through the plane and through into a section full of people with the phone to stop the bomb. And of course, this all causes a panic in the plane. Civilians think Samara is the one behind the attack and tries to stop her, which leads to...
We need to update you on breaking news of a Russian passenger jet that crashed in the Urzikstan
passengers and 9 crew members were
may have been deliberately crashed.
Standing very rapid. Authorities are looking
unexplained
for the
descent.
cockpit voice
The
recorder.
cockpit voice recorder that is a crucial part of the investigation.
Video from passenger cell phones could also shed
Hours
light
after a missile attack on Arklov military base.
suffered massive casualties when they
Incidents could be
were
related in what looks to be a possible terrorist attack.
Tolerate terrorists.
Moscow is investigating.
This all leads to Laswell, Price, and Farah all in a call about how this all screams Makarov, and how it wasn't an accident or a coincidence that the plane crashed in Urzikstan. And with that, Farah wants to clear her and her army's name by going to the crash site of the plane before the authorities arrive, but as we all know, Makarov wants to control the narrative, so we cut to Alex and Farah biking towards the crash site, which, of course, as you would guess, was riddled with Makarov's men. Farah quickly sets a plan for her to go down to the site, with Alex providing overwatch, thus starting the next mission. And for fuck's sake, another open combat mission? We just had a few missions that had that classic campaign feel, and we're going back to this? Come on. The objective here is to stealthily search for mobile devices on the crash site, or at least, you know, Try to. You get to one phone which has Russians screaming there's a gun, there's another phone which shows Samara holding a gun, and then another phone which shows Samara in a bomb vest. And then after that we get to the flight recorder that everyone on the news was talking about and wipe the contents clean. After this, because nothing's ever easy, as we're trying to leave, Makarov's men find Alex and well...
Alex, where are you? 3-1, how copy? Echo 3-1, do you read?
Get out of here now!
No, Alex, I'll find you.
You then see the soldiers holding Alex captive, who you take out and drive off in the truck. Then Farah says to Alex to follow Makarov's men to see where they're going, and with a little bit of playful banter.
Try not to get caught this time.
No promises.
Farah then relays everything back to Laswell, letting her know about the phones, the wiped black box, and that Alex is tracking Makarov's soldiers, and it all finishes with apologies about Farah's former soldier. We cut back to the 141 where the whole gang gets back together. They then go through the security footage of the airport of which the flight came from, which is where they spot Makarov, and Soap comes up with this genius observation.
That's Makarov.
Farah and Alex, what'd they get?
Not enough to prove anything.
Sick bastards topping American missiles with chemical weapons and killing his own people. He's killing civilians.
Cheers, mate. Didn't know that. Everyone around the table chip in to figuring out Makarov's intentions, with it being he wants a war, and as things stand, his plan is working, and they're on brink of a war.
Had him right in our fucking hands.
Wait, what?
We should have killed him when we had the chance.
Huh?
What stopped you?
Oh, for fuck's sake, Price, what are you hiding from us? We then go back 4 years to... Verdansk! Oh my god, it's downtown! I can't believe it, it's Verdansk, how have you been? Anyway, Shepard lets the 141 know that an explosion has gone off in Stadium and that Makarov could still be inside. He then tells them that they, being Ghost and Shepard, will not be there until it's clear, and that Makarov's potential next target could be in the VIP lounge. You know, that old Easter egg room where you got the variant? Alright, I'll stop now. While driving towards Stadium, we learn that Makarov originally threatened to hit the airport, but instead hitting the stadium, causing complete manic on the roads. Drivers doing anything they can to get away, civilians running into the road, ambulances going full speed. It's crazy out here. We then pull up to police shooting civilians? What? You take them out and you make your way through Stadium, fighting off Makarov's inner circle posed as police, and civilians are sprinting everywhere. You get to a stairwell, which again, as you're going up, you witness more of these guys posed as police killing civilians, until you get to the VIP room, which paramedics are treating people without being killed. One makes a dash for their gun, confirming they are also Makarov's inner circle, so you drop them and head to the garage area. As you make your way through, an ambulance seems to have a stare down with us, which then drives full speed at us. What kind of paramedics are you? You open the door to the ambulance and...
Hands! Koziruki!
Oh my god, we've got him! He's done!
It's him.
Vladimir Makarov, get out of the vehicle now. Nice and easy. That's far enough. Now don't fucking move. Search him.
You scared, Captain? You should be.
Shut up. Get on your fucking knees. He's clean.
You're going to kill me?
Oh, I thought about it, yeah.
I recommend you do.
And I recommend you tell your men to stand down.
You're not trained to stand down. That's more your strategy.
Keep him close. All stations, we have Makarov, we're moving to the extract.
Then, as we move out from this cutscene, we take aim and we kill this bitch.
Mission accomplished. Good work.
Alright. We then slap Makarov on the back of the head to make him move, until we very obviously get ambushed not once, but twice before getting out of the stadium. We then have to make our way through a wave of Makarov's armored soldiers until we see... Is that Shepard? Nah, man, you can get it too. Sorry, got carried away again. You take a second to look how good Ghost looks in the original gear and take Shepard's hand. And that's it. Makarov secure and mission complete. Right?
Simon Riley, I expected you to stay at the airport and die there.
If you want to live, do not threaten my men, Vladimir.
Are we on first name basis, Herschel?
Wait a minute. Wait a damn minute. You're telling me this whole time, this guy who has had us all on strings from the original MW2 in our childhoods, and him even coming back again in the recent MW2, his first name's fucking Herschel? How have we been played by this bald guy named Herschel for so long? I cannot believe this.
What's the rest of your plan?
This.
What do you mean, this?
Amazing. You're all dumber than you look.
I asked you a question.
And I have a question for you. What time is it?
What the hell do you care what time it is?
Timing is everything, General. I think we'll all remember this moment. Some more fondly than others.
The airport! He pulled us off target! You fucking son of a bitch! I'll blow your fucking brains out your throat, you hear me? I swear to God, I'll do it!
Do it, come on!
You shut your mouth!
Let me finish him!
John, we have him. He's in custody. He's not going anywhere. Stand down, Sergeant.
I thought you were the good guys.
You gonna rot in hell for this.
You'll die in the gulag with the rest of the Russian rats.
I'll be seeing you again, McTavish. I promise.
The reason I played all of that cutscene is because this is the first point where I question the writing of this story. I mean, come on, think about this. They keep Makarov in custody in order to just send him to the gulag? That makes absolutely no sense to me. If it was to wring him out of any intel, that would make more sense, but there's no mention of that, and so you just have to question, why is this guy not dead? And then we're hit with this.
I shouldn't have stopped you. Was the right thing at the time, Captain.
What was the right thing? Letting him get off scot-free after a terrorist attack on the hotspots of Verdansk? I don't get it. Anyway, they get a call from no other than Herschel. Shepard's now been ruined for me, I'm not gonna lie. After a friendly reunion, you could say, Shepard relays intel on Makarov's finances, where we also find out that Graves is working with Herschel. Again. Anyway, Laswell receives coordinates of the intel, which checks out and traces back to Milena Romanova, Makarov's financier, on a private island guarded by Makarov's soldiers. You infill by the water and oh my god, not another open combat mission. I'm sick of these. Okay, let's speedrun this. You swim past the docks and sneak around the beach, sweeping through these gazebo cabana things for ammo, until you find this guy in a suit followed by armored soldiers who you then kill and get the fob key. After this, you run to a control panel that opens the bunker door to the server room, where you use the fob key on the bunker terminal, giving Laswell access to all comms and a banking. I don't know, man. There's a lot to digest. I'm trying my best here. After that, you clear out the guards in Milena's mansion. Can't lie, that sounds like it could be its own game, like Luigi's Mansion. You admire the gold akimbo deagles, which are found in a bedroom on the first floor. Look at them, man. They're so beautiful. You clear out the armored enemies at the top, and voila, you're outside Milena's door. Of course, initially Milena doesn't say a word.
Where's your boss?
I don't have a boss. No one tells me what to do.
How we doing, boys?
She's not talking.
She's about to.
Give me your hand.
Why? Or else you'll cut it off?
Not my style. He might.
Why the mask?
To hide my face.
Don't worry, Ghost. I understand. I like my anonymity too. You quickly learn Milena is driven by money.
85 million of Makarov's transferred to a CIA black fund.
Vladimir's York is already bought and paid for. You're not very good at this.
Neither are you. All your men are dead and your accounts are wide open.
You're stealing from Makarov's future, not mine.
Oh, Soap, do you hear that?
I did.
And after threatening to drain all of Milena's funds, she breaks.
I'm as good as dead without my money. I need my money!
We need Makarov. Where is he?
Vostok! There's a wire transfer to Vostok capital in St. Petersburg. Vladimir buys old properties, abandoned buildings. I don't know how he uses them. That's all I can tell you.
I see it. That's all we need.
Pleasure doing business with you.
I still can't get over the handshake soap offers. I find it brilliant. We then cut back to Makarov's side, which feels like it's been a while, where Nolan and Makarov are talking about how they could be exposed because of Milena, and that Shadow Company are working with them and they have intel on something. And if the intel is good, Nolan will be the first to know. We go back to the 141, where they're talking on the intel they gathered, such as a recent purchase of an abandoned apartment complex for Makarov soldiers in St. Petersburg. You find out there's a redeploy balloon on the roof, meaning there's an easy way to get rid of something they don't want you to find / someone, or in our case, it's a quick and easy escape if you find anything. Laswell flies a drone overhead and finds Nolan in charge of the other soldiers and tries to ID him. And would you look at that? Another open combat mission. I'm flying through it again. You go up the elevator shaft, hear guards, kill those guards, go through rooms filled with claymores and traps. You go upstairs and out the window. Not gonna lie, I was replaying the campaign for this video, so I had the zipline thing, I forget the name.
Cheat.
Then, I don't know if you get found out here all the time, but it seemed like I got spotted by nothing. You go through waves of enemies, climbing through the hole in the roof, jumping across some conveniently laid out scaffolding until finally you're on the 11th floor. And once again, you can cheat to the end of that.
Wait, that's illegal.
Listen, man, we're here for the story, not the gameplay. You meet up with Price and get onto the roof where you see Nolan. So, once again, you fight through waves of enemies until you finally get to Nolan.
There he is. Kill me. I might help you. That's what they all say. Пошел ты нахуй. Пошли вы все нахуй, блядь.
I can see his mouth moving from here. Shut him up.
Good night, sunshine. You carry Nolan to the redeploy balloon thing and hold off any waves of enemies while you wait for Nikolai to get you out. You fight through even more waves of soldiers until finally you hook onto the line and Nikolai gets you out of there. Also, did you see that? Those soldiers got some crazy aim to be hitting Price like that. Once you're out of there, you obviously find out that Nolan has blind faith and he's not talking, but Laswell has intercepted his comms and found out that Makarov and his soldiers are delivering something or someone to an abandoned prison in Siberia. And of course, even the faintest scent of Makarov gets Price. He wants a piece of that, so we and the rest of the squad are off to Siberia. We cut to Ghost and Farah scoped in on 4 vehicles driving across an iced over lake, or I don't know, whatever it is, and Farah lets it be known that the 3rd vehicle is highly guarded. Moving on to everyone else, we see you place a C4 under the ice cap and swim away ready for the blast. And just like clockwork, the vehicles show up and you blow up the ice with the cars falling in. You head towards the 3rd vehicle, which only contains a prisoner and not Makarov. And so after cutting off the door and grabbing the prisoner, you resurface and find out the prisoner hasn't drowned.
Stand by.
Herschel?
Demon Jesus.
McTavish. The fuck? Captain?
Fuck, is there a single shit show that you are not a part of?
Honestly, Price, I agree. I don't understand how Herschel is always there at the worst times at this point. You then find out that apparently he knows Makarov's next target.
I know Makarov's next target.
You didn't even know you were the fucking target.
Oh, you were chasing your own tail before I stepped in.
Give it to us then.
You get me out of here first.
Of course the rat always finds a way to stick around. Unbelievable. You then make your way through the forest until some enemy patrol turn up where you can stay low and let them pass, or just mow them down. After this, you go back to the truck, which is now surrounded and taken over by Makarov's men. So after an attempt of stealth, you get spotted and just mow everyone down again. If any of you have managed to stay stealthy on this game at any point, fair play. I struggled all the way through. Soon after, you get to a cliffside and find out Farah is taking enemy fire, so you snipe down at whoever you can get and then pick off the rest at the bottom and through windows of a building. You regroup and all head into this shipyard thing. Again, I don't know what this is, which is an ambush, but we pull the Uno reverse card and started it all. You push through the shipyard until we get to where Ghost is being pinned in. Once you clear out the enemies, another wave comes in with armored soldiers, and once you clear out of the enemies again, then another wave comes in with armored soldiers, until finally you clear out the area and get on Nikolai's helicopter. This then leads to yet another one of my favorite cutscenes, because I just feel like this is justice after all these years.
The hell's this? The crossroads.
Laswell.
Without the stars and bars, you look like frozen shit, General.
Best of the best. All in one place.
We won't glare an exception.
What is the agenda of this little powwow?
A choice.
Do I have one?
No.
I'm all ears.
Own up. Tell us everything.
You know everything.
Congress doesn't. And I bet they'd
They'd be all ears, wouldn't they, eh?
That's it?
No. You clear my name. Tell them who I am, what you gave me, and why.
No one else had the balls to do what I did for you. For all of you.
Then do the right thing, General.
All your intel on Makarov, your boy Graves on a leash.
Say yes, you get a warm ride home.
Or take a little me time and freeze to death.
That's the one I'm partial to.
Yeah, hold that, Herschel. Your career's done.
The prisoner focused on their own self-preservation, and eventually they will break.
Good to see you remembered your training, eh? General.
You screw me on this, John, and you'll be sorry you kept me alive.
Shepard gives his intel, and finally we're going back to Verdansk, but this time at Dam, where Makarov plans to blow up the dam, which would then lead to the whole city of Verdansk being washed away. So, Ghost and Soap are tasked with making sure that doesn't happen, with support from a drone by Laswell. Of course, it's an open combat mission, but at least we're going to explore a bit of Verdansk, so this time it's a little bit interesting. You parachute off of Dam onto a little island where there's just a chopper gonna chill in there? Yeah, I don't know about that. You then look around Verdansk before finally realizing you should probably play the mission. You make your way to the first bomb, clear out the area and defuse. Do the same again, but this time the bomb is underwater. Then you do it all over again, once again failing to stay stealthy, but at least it's another bomb down. And finally, you can defuse the last bomb, and with that, you escape from Nikolai's helicopter. Again, I tell you something, everyone needs a friend like Nikolai. He's always there to help get out of bad situations. We cut back to Graves? Okay, buddy. What is bro doing? Blood thinks he's on the team. Yeah, hold that, Graves, you're a rat. After Graves gets left hanging, we get this cool shot of the plane and heli flying into the sunrise, bringing us into yet another AC-130 type mission. To be fair, I do really like these type of missions. It adds a different dynamic, and let's be honest, I take 11 more of these over the open combat missions. You start by taking out some enemies close to Farah so that the team can move forward, then take out a SAM site. You're not ruining the fun just yet. You keep taking out enemies until they try and launch a plane out of here, which is taken out very easily too. After that, once again, you're just killing enemies until this time they get into the first bunker in search of chemical weapons. They don't find anything in the first hangar, so again, you cover them as they make their way into the second hangar, which gets confirmed by Farah is where the chemicals are. After this is when you could easily get overwhelmed, because holy, there's a shit ton of enemies on the runway. So you're still covering them in the bunker, destroying cars, tanks, people, until once again a planes try to take off, with them barely making it 10 feet, and you keep covering them until you get this message from Shepard.
All stations, this is actual. SIG confirms Makarov is on the base. He's gonna make a play for the chemicals.
So with that in mind, you see the chopper, you try your hardest to take down the chopper. There we go. After this, and the team finishes up with the chemicals, Herschel gives us the go-ahead to take down the hangar once the ground is clear. My pleasure, Herschel. Then, of course, you get Graves being Graves.
3 things you cannot outrun in this world, folks. Death, taxes, and me.
You go back to the ground where Price mentions the kill is not confirmed and that they need to search for the body, but bloody Herschel tells him to stand down so he can finally get a win under his name, the Rat. This leads us onto a cutscene which I find very funny. I don't know why, but it's important.
We owe a debt of gratitude to our task force and to the ULF for our success against Vladimir Makarov and his private army.
Much has been said about the ULF. Are Farah Karim and her soldiers a terror organization?
No, Farah Karim is and always has been an ally to the United States and our Western partners in the region.
How did Commander Karim obtain American armament?
For nearly a decade, I sent weapons to Commander Karim to support her missions against Al-Qatala and Russian incursions into Urzikstan.
Were those shipments legal?
No. In order to save lives, I commissioned illegal shipments with funds I approved myself.
Quiet, quiet, please. General Shepard, in October of 2022, did you authorize Shadow Company to fire on a task force under your command in Las Almas, Mexico?
No, I did not.
Mr. Graves, were you given orders to use lethal force against TF-141?
Yes, I was.
Quiet. Quiet in this chamber. Who gave you those orders?
General Herschel Shepard.
I'm sorry. I cannot take this guy seriously anymore. I'm just so shocked that this guy's first name was Herschel this whole time. Listen, if your name's Herschel out there, I'm sorry. It's just such an unusual name to me. I don't think I've ever met someone called Herschel in my life, so it's just strange to me. I'm sorry. Anyway, let's continue.
Did you act on those orders, Mr. Graves?
No, absolutely not, sir.
Quiet. Quiet.
Fuck me. I stabbed each other in the back. Still saving their own skins.
Yep. The rat got ratted out. That's just poetic justice in a way, isn't it? Although I hope it comes for Graves next, man. This guy's also a rat. We cut back to one of these Discord calls again and find out that Makarov's men are in London for a meeting with a hacker to access something. So we're off to London to figure that out. Ghost sits on cams to see if any murders are committed as you spot the guy you're after that goes by Hoodie Guy. He doesn't really, I made that up.
Really?
We cut to Soap having a cup of tea or coffee. Wouldn't be very London without one, would it? And he leaves a tip too? Jesus, that's unheard of over here. You now have to blend in while keeping an eye on the target, and what better way to do that than have a cigarette with Gaz, am I right? As they move along, so do you, except this time we're going to be petting a dog. Which, by the way, Soap said he hates dogs. What do you mean? Hey, he's called Riley though, that's cool. I like that. Now you keep up by taking a picture of a statue, which, if you ask me, is bait, but whatever, you do you. So you hear the target say,
Hey, I got the pin. Drop the flash drive behind the rubbish bins. Yeah, between Bistro 43 and Tea Cafe. I know, you did something. Pleasure's in business.
and that's Soap's part done for now. You move to Ghost and you have to find the guy who was in the alleyway. So yeah, this guy. If you look closely, you can see him through the windows too, until he eventually gets to a tunnel. And with that, you get the whole police force, armed forces, as well as the 141 going in this tunnel. You head down the stairs where you kill this guy for being dodgy, then you move through the bathrooms and clear out all the enemies and taking out the sentry, just to do it again in the next room, and then the room after that. And then the upstairs of that room, yeah, I know it's very long-winded, until you kill the buyer and get the contents of the flash drive. You now find out that Makarov has control of all of the trains in the Eurotunnel, and that he boarded one 10 minutes prior. You figure out, or theorize should I say, even though every time they theorize they've been correct on this game, Makarov is going to blow up the Eurotunnel, causing total devastation not only to the civilians on board, but the UK and Europe. And with that in mind, Gaz rallies up another squadron of police and armed forces. I'm not gonna lie, watching this back, it kind of feels like some Last Chance or like Last Supper type thing. Does that make sense?
Boys,
Captain Price, at your service.
I need half of your men with my lieutenant, the rest of you on me.
Copy that.
Right, stay close, follow my orders. Let's get on those doors, yeah? 6 to Watcher, we're on the X gun for Makarov.
Solid copy. Go get him, John.
This bastard won't go down easy.
Yeah, well, neither will we, sunshine. Hey, come on.
You head through the tunnel until you see soldiers up ahead, which are taken care of very easily. Unfortunately, after that, you run through a horde of dead civilians. Once you get through that, you see soldiers about to execute even more civilians, but stop them before they do. Or at least, I hope you did. Heartless bastard. And with that, you open the door and you're greeted by a ton of soldiers. You clear through them and a sentry gun just to find a juggernaut. 2 of them. Again, you take out both jugs and all the soldiers, then run further into the tunnels towards the crossover platform where you find a bomb surrounded by soldiers. You clear them out while Soap sorts out defusing the bomb. Soap then says it's a 2-man job and that's where we come in. And now it's your turn to help defuse it. I'll just let this part play out.
Alright, Captain. C4 and radioactive powder.
Plug the tunnel and hit Europe. How do we disarm it?
I need the manufacturer logo on the large circuit board. Give me something.
Logo is a bear.
Copy. Bear. Cutting the wire. Got it. I bought some time.
Price, be advised. Makarov is in the tunnel. He's heading your way.
Soap, you hear that?
I'm fine. I'm not leaving this board, Captain.
Soap, get your gun up.
Alright, you clear these first, now silence.
07 to 6, we're punching through now.
Get here. What's next, Soap?
Locate the blasting cap. Bottom left-hand corner.
Copy. Blasting Capitas to the C4.
Aye. There's a serial number on it. Give me the third number.
Third number is 9.
Copy. Good work. This bomb has 2 fuses. We need to cut both at the same time. Red wire.
Red wire. Got it.
Take this to hell with you, Captain. Never bury your enemies alive.
Captain, the bomb! How do we stop it? Find the red wire. Red only, so we cut together all 3, copy? Roger, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Disarmed. Disarmed. We're clear. All stations, this is Bravo in the blind. Threat neutralized. Bomb is safe. 1 KIA.
Who dares wins. Sleep easy, soldier.
See you downrange, brother. We'll take it from there.
Rest in peace, Johnny.
Rest in peace, so... Okay, now I can't wait to get back at Makarov. There is another mission, right? Okay, buddy, that's it? That's all we get? Where's the last mission? You can't just end it on that. Well, we now know MW4 is confirmed.
John.
General.
How did you get in here?
Mutual friend.
Laswell. You're better than this, Captain.
We both will.
This job is about making sacrifices for the greater good.
Agreed.
You got a body count of your own, John. It'll come back to haunt you. Oh, I am not gonna beg for my life. Not from you or anybody else, Captain.
Wouldn't do you any good.
Hold that, Herschel. Deserved. And that's the end of the actual campaign. So overall, I feel like the story was not as bad as people are making it out to be. I know that might come as a shock considering how much I was memeing it there, but honestly, I just can't really take campaigns seriously anymore. I just want the multiplayer. But the story itself wasn't that bad, and obviously there was some points which I even questioned when going through the campaign, like not killing Makarov in the Verdansk part. That just makes no sense to me whatsoever. So you do all that work to capture him, but then you throw him somewhere else to be someone else's problem. Like, what? The ending didn't feel like an ending. Once you finish the campaign, you're like, is that all? Now, when I was streaming this, I knew it was the last mission because I had a few people who told me, but had I not known that, I would have thought there was another mission straight after. Those and the open combat missions were the big letdowns for me and made this campaign overall feel like a big Modern Warfare 2 Spec Ops or Raids mission as opposed to a campaign. Anyway, to the positives, the linear missions were great. Those missions made the game come back from that Spec Ops feeling back into a campaign. Like the stadium mission, amazing. That felt like a Call of Duty campaign mission to me. What every campaign does well for me in Call of Duty is how linear the missions are, but with a little wiggle room to explore and collect your intel and whatnot, whilst also kind of feeling like you're in an action movie, if that makes sense. Not with your mini-maps, kill streaks, and a creator class systems. That just doesn't work for me. I can respect that they tried to innovate the campaign, but honestly, for me, it didn't work out, but for some of you, it might, and that's okay again. The cutscenes were so good. They were way more memorable than the gameplay was for me. The quality of acting on show from the likes of Barry Sloan or, you know, Price was top tier. And Makarov too, his actor did an amazing job portraying Makarov. They both played their roles respectively super well, and it shows and adds to the story. I definitely don't think it's the worst campaign. I mean, that quite clearly goes to Black Ops 3. I didn't even get past the first mission all year. As much as I love BO3, that takes the cake for the worst campaign of all time for me. But even throughout some of the questionable writing, it still is a pretty good story, especially after playing it back again and paying more attention to it. You notice more and respect it more, at least in my case I did. I can't remember if I said this earlier, but I love how they carry over the theme of the last few CODs. I know it's standard, but when they left Graves hanging, that was class. I loved it. How are you gonna kill Soap? Not once, but twice, man. Do you know how much of a violation that is? I mean, Herschel died twice too, but honestly, fuck that guy. I'm smoking on that Herschel pack. They always say that the way to tell you have a good story is when you don't question why things are happening. Now, they definitely happen in this campaign. I've already said a few multiple times, but Modern Warfare 3 counters that with the likes of the character development. This again goes in with the good acting from Captain Price and Makarov's actors, but you feel the mood around them. You understand the stakes and feel the tension in the atmosphere of that mission. I mean, the last mission, it felt like it kept building and building. Yes, with a disappointing end that is almost a slap in the face, but you still felt the tension. And this happens multiple times throughout the campaign. Also, a good story leaves things up for interpretation and doesn't outright tell you what's going on. And that happens a lot in this campaign too. A good example of this is when I said that Shadow Company is working with Makarov when he just says Shadow. So I just took it that way. And if you think about it, it does make sense. As we all saw, Graves is as much of a rat as Herschel was, always trying to save himself from incriminating himself. And if you think about it, Shepard knew too much. And as a result, Graves sold him out to Makarov, who was going to be jailed in Siberia before we came and got him. And once that didn't work out, he lied in Congress, incriminating Shepard and not himself by saying he didn't act upon the orders that Shepard gave him when you clearly did, you fucking rat. In the end, it was Graves holding Shepard on a tight leash, not the other way around like the 141 wanted. I think it's a good sign if you make theories about a campaign like I just did there, although that kind of feels like I'm putting pieces together, so it's not confirmed, bear that in mind, but to me it makes sense. I'd love to hear what you think about that theory, and if you have some theories of your own from this campaign, please leave them down below. Going back to Soap's death, I feel like they didn't have an ending for the Modern Warfare 3 campaign, so they just added Soap's death for shock value, which is probably why it doesn't hit as much as it should. As much as I have praised this story, which I do really believe that, I think it's a really good story, I think it would benefit from a little bit of realignment. Like, I believe that the stadium mission would have been better suited for the first mission. I feel like that would have been a way better starting mission than what we had already. I mean, come on, think about it. You get dropped into Verdansk straight away, pretty much into an ongoing disaster. All of the people are flying around in their cars, running into the road. It is complete chaos. And then we see Makarov putting himself on the scene, and we know what his intentions are straight away. And then when Soap and Price make that absolutely ridiculous decision of sending him to the Gulag, We know that already. So then they carry that weight for the rest of the campaign. I'm sure there's a few more missions that could be realigned because sometimes it felt like it wasn't making sense. Honestly, I really believe if some of these missions were just realigned, the campaign would have had a better reaction and probably felt better. I feel like I'm just repeating things I said at the start of the video now. I've been talking for way too long. So on that note, I would give this campaign a 6.5 out of 10. Look, it's above average, definitely not up there with the best, closer to the bottom, but it wasn't all that bad. I would recommend playing this campaign for yourself though, because let's be honest, you can only give your own thoughts and opinions, and there is only so much I can go through by summarizing the campaign. In fact, I missed out so many little voice lines through the missions that are fairly important in the story too, so if you want the full experience to judge this for yourself, I would recommend it. Also, I feel like the ending confirms Modern Warfare 4, so this campaign, although has some question marks, will still hold some importance for the future of campaigns for the Modern Warfare franchise. And that is my full review, or maybe just a summary of missions, to be honest, of the Modern Warfare 3 campaign. I hope you enjoyed this different kind of video. I can confirm the Road to Mastery camo series will be coming soon for this game, so make sure you subscribe and turn on post notifications for that. But on that note, that is all from me. I hope you all enjoyed. See you in the next one.